Hello everyone, and in this video I'm going to talk about the way how to measure streaming rate. So let's say we have the live action here or a recorded clip, but that's something that we would like to live stream from the Rokoko Studio. So we could activate this target, and the port that I'm using right now is 14043. So in order to measure how many packets we actually output per second and to understand if that is not a bottleneck of performance drops or issues we have, so we could use a helper application which called LiveForward JSON v3 splitter. And if we run this application, it will start measure packets per second. So the idea behind this tool is that it's receive packets from port 43 and immediately redirect into port 44. And on the same time, it's measure how many packets we have per second. So it should be stable 30, and also it's quite important that min and max time between every epoch doesn't really jump too much. So yeah, you can see that sometimes I have a drop to 27, so there is one time per, let's say, 6 seconds, I have a little bit of drop here. So now in order to use this in Unreal, have the full overview of our performance. I have this project right now running with the metahuman, and that's going to be use this input. So I'm going to put them together side by side. And now I'm going to go to virtual production link. So this one was a setup for port 43, but now I'm redirecting to port 44. I have to add a source and change the port number here and add the studio source. So now I can tweak also the properties of my source. And another measurement tool that could help is to show FPS, just to see if my frame rate in Studio itself is not very bad. So it have to be greater than 30 at least, but closer to 60 ideally. So you can see now that my splitter shows stable 30 frames per second and my render is higher than 30. So it should be all good actually to go with a smooth result. So sometimes I have a little bit drops every of 6 seconds, I would think. Yeah, but in general it works fine. So this is the way in how to measure number of packets per second we are streaming. Yes, and alternative way, especially if you want to dig into packets information, there is an alternative way, and let's go back to Studio. So the Unreal Engine is streaming LZ4 compressed JSON format, but we have a script which is the part of Studio Common API examples repository, and in the folder of Python examples. It's called live stream listener example. And here we have some configuration to listen for the port 43, but it should be packets without compression, and we could do this in Studio by going to the custom target and choosing the data format JSON. So JSON LZ4 is what is widely used from other clients on the plugins that we have. But if you want to experiment yourself with the data, you can choose JSON. It's much easier to decompress and see what is inside. And this script is actually an example of doing this. So if I activate this target and now go to the script, you see that it's start listening on the specific port 43. And then when it's listened, it also computed number of packets per second. And optionally, you can unpack the data, so you can decompress this JSON like here, and you can also save some information into a file that shows an example how to extract the hip position of the actor and write it into the CSV. So let's run the script. I'm not going to unpack or save file, just computing number of packets per second. So if I run the script now on port 43, so you see it shows me number of packets per second also doing this measurement. Yeah, so this is two ways how we can measure and at least understand if that is a bottleneck or not. Hope that will be helpful. Thank you. Bye.